if you're working on an M&A transaction and you get to the boilerplate section, the last thing you really want to waste your time on is the notices provision. And yet you probably should spend a little time thinking about it. So in this part of the agreement, the parties will agree how they're going to deliver notices to one another. And there's a lot of different ways you could do that. You could require all notices to be given in person. You could require that if it's sent by mail, that it be sent postage prepaid. And you could actually specify on what day it's deemed received if it's deposited in the mail or deposited by overnight courier. And the reality is a lot of people just sort of accept whatever's in there and don't worry much about it. But I actually tend to worry a little bit about it. And there's two things I worry about. One, we're all busy. And if you've got a provision in there that says a notice can be given by email, I guarantee you might be, humming along in your day-to-day activities and receive an email and not appreciate that it's a notice under the agreement and that certain rights may be in play or obligations may be called on because of that email that popped into your inbox and that you kind of glanced at, but you had other things going on. And so I like to require notice be given in a little bit of an unusual way that isn't sort of the normal day-to-day routine. So it jumps out at you, oh, wow, this happened. And I've never actually requested a singing telegram, but I've thought about it. But certainly having a FedEx or an overnight courier is better in my world than an email, because although I get FedExes on a regular basis, I do have to stop and think, what's in this? And why did someone send it this way? This is different than our normal, mode of communication. And so I think that's really important. And the second thing in the notice provision that I like to pay attention to is the who gets a copy of the notice. You can just say that one party has to send a notice to the other party, but you can also say with a copy to and add some people. And as the lawyer on the deal, I like to be copied. Because often my client will be busy with other things. But if I get a copy of the notice, I'll freak out like I usually do and call my client and say, hey, did you see this thing that came in? We got to respond. And that you really want that. It takes a team for everybody paying attention and making sure that you don't have an accidental whiff on an important issue in the agreement.